Hello, hello, everybody. How are you? Coming at you live. It's Amy here with Sugar Hill Art Studio. I am so excited for tonight. All right, so we're doing the basic, checking on, seeing if we get comments, all the fun things. And getting my old computer girl up and running. So if you are joining in, if you're watching, do me a huge favor and just type in the comments hello or where you're watching from. If you're new here, let me know. Say, hey, I'm new, watching from wherever, in case you are new and you're not familiar with me. I'm Amy, Sugar Hill Art Studios, and we're coming to you live from Virginia Beach. Okay. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Leah. Cool. I have comments. That's awesome. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, let me pop over here. I do have my phone plugged in. Yay! Hello, Shaquita and Tracy. Hi, Deb. Hi, Carrie. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I don't know how many we'll have jumping in here tonight. You guys, I'm assuming, can hear me okay. Did my AirPods? Let me connect those so you don't have that feedback again. Yeah, I know. Closer than like Texas, right? Does that sound better now that I got you connected the other way? Okay. Yes, everybody say hello. I know we have like our fan favorites in here. I always love. I was hoping my phone would open up for me. My old phone. Should be able to see. Okay, and without the feedback, right? Hi, Sarah. Hi, Marty. All right, cool. So let's dive in. I know a lot of you, so everybody as of right now, I pretty much recognize all of your names and everything. And I know a lot of you, I connected, Deb, I connected my AirPod and I run it off of that so you can actually hear me. I sound a little bit different, but at least you don't get the background. My laptop is so old, but I like the setup where you can see me, but you're looking down. So there we go. Spelling your name wrong. I spelled my name wrong. It wouldn't surprise me. Okay, so I'm so happy to be back. I feel like I've been missing from the art world all of July and some of June. So, but it's August and I'm back and I'm excited. Here's the thing. Who loves tags? I know so many of you are loving tags, right? Oh, Shaquita, yeah. Your autocorrect does that on Shaquita's name. Like, I promise you, it just does that. Okay, tags. Everybody's loving tags. If you don't love tags, you can do this on a card, super cute on a watercolor. I don't have them out, but I prefer working with the watercolor cards because they're a nice, heavy, good weight to work on. Okay, so those are always good to have. If you see them in like Michael's or Hobby Lobby, use that 40% off coupon or that 20, any coupon, right? And grab that box of watercolor cards, just the plain. They're a great weight. You can cut them in half and then you have 2 postcards, or just use it full as the card. Let's see. I used it. This is the watercolor card. Some of you saw this one. I think I did. This was a Christmas in July, and I did the girl on these cards too. They're just the watercolor cards, and they, like, if you did this design, you know, a little bit bigger on a card, how fun would that be to get? So I love tags. Like, I have a collection. These were just the ones on my desk, but I have a huge collection of tags happening. Best thing to do, you don't have to go out and buy tags. This is card. What one was this? This was cardstock. This is mixed media paper. Same thing. cardstock wrapped in paper makes it nice and thick with some Mod Podge and gesso, right? This is just a piece of cardstock painted on one side. Same thing. So you don't have, listen, look, this is my favorite. All right, I always have so much going on. I want to show you guys everything all at once. Like I want to give you all the hidden tips and tricks. If you don't have this Canson mixed media pad, doesn't matter what size. I like the 11 by 14 for some things. It comes in 9 by 12. It is my journal, right? It's 98 pounds. Watercolor paper is usually 140 pounds. It's a little bit heavier. It's a little bit nicer. But this mixed media pad, very multi-faceted. You can use it for everything and anything. And so I have some tags drawn out here. These ones are a little bit taller. I just had some, and I will just copy them, trace them. Sometimes the corners can be tricky. Just use a tag, no matter what size it is, right? No matter what size, and use that for your corners. If you want high and tight, if you want rounded corners, I can't find my little rounded corner punch. It'll appear someday. I have some of the bigger ones cut out. Well, I'm not sure what size we're going to do, but probably do the same kind of size, or maybe we'll do a taller one. A hole punch, you don't need anything special. Don't need to go spend money. We're just going to set up our basic card to start with. I'm probably going to end up standing. Make sure you guys can still see me in there. All right, so if you don't have cards, you don't have to go buy them. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah, I just cut them all up. Look at, must have been drawing something on there. Okay, let me make sure I go in the right way of the steps, because you guys, if you've ever watched me before, you know I get way ahead of myself and I get so excited, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh wait, we should have done that first. I wrote it down, but of course I don't have the list here. You are going to, so for the petals, right, some of you already have painted papers, I'm sure. Some of you already have a stock. If you don't, go grab yourself an old book. You know, I have this hymn book. I was thinking I was going to maybe use a music sheet on this one. But I have just a book page, which I actually, when I painted, and I have this E.E. Cummins book of poetry that I thought might, sometimes it'll give you good, you know, think about your project. Think about how you want things to lay out and what you want them to look like, and then go through your collections. Yeah, an old recipe book is fantastic. I need to find an old recipe book that I don't mind tearing apart. Like any old recipe book I have is sentimental. So I don't want to paint and tear that apart and cut it apart. It's too sentimental. Okay, and then the other thing I did was just grab some basic watercolor paper to do our centers. And that's what we're going to start with right now. We're just going to grab some watercolors, grab your big favorite watercolor brush, and just think about those sunflower colors, right? I could send you, oh, you're so sweet, Tracy. I know, Jess and I do have that, let me get some of that purple in there. Stash swap planned for the fall, which I say for the fall like it's far away, but really the fall is here, isn't it? Just pick your favorite. Just pick your favorites and throw some paint down. There's no right or wrong. You could use your jelly plate, for those of you that are into the jelly plate. If you're not, if you don't even have watercolors on hand right now, but you have markers, use markers. Let's throw some pink in. All right, let those colors mix up. Get it good and wet. Let's get some of this deeper orange color in. Because you'll see when you cut them apart, you really do want some good different colors happening there. So I just got back from Disney. How many of you, I haven't been to Disney since I was probably 11 years old. And my sister was going for a trip that she thought she had to do, and then that purpose of that trip got canceled. So she was like, hey, why don't you come? And my youngest son, Luke, and I went with her daughter, who is the same age as Luke. And they're kind of like, we call them the twins because they're the same age, they're the same grade, they're hilarious, they're very much alike. Okay, we're going to set that aside and let that draw, and we're just going to do some circles for the inside. And I'm just going to kind of figure out about what size I want that first one, and I am just going to goop some paint in there. And we are going to get a little bit of bluish gray for those darker browns, right? If I mix those opposite colors, I'm going to get brown, purple, and yellow. So we went to Disney, and it was super fun. I haven't been there in a long time. Hi, Sue. Hi, Deborah. How are you ladies tonight? So see, I'm just going to keep going back and forth with different colors, and I've got a bunch of different color circles that I can choose from. I'm going to kind of just let watercolor do its thing, right? Let's put some just color down. And how those colors mix if we put that water down first. And put some of this in there. All right, the messier, the better on these circles, because when you cut it apart, when you're cutting things apart, I realized that you want it to kind of have a little bit of, you want it to be messy. You don't want it to be perfect. You want to see some definition in there. You want colors to kind of blend. Okay? So how quick and easy was that? My personal goal tonight was to keep it within an hour. I don't know if I can do that, but we're going to try. Those of you that watch me know I usually am closer to an hour and a half. We're going to just dry these a little bit. It doesn't have to be dry because we're going to go back to our tags. If anybody working with me tonight, if you're working along with me, our next step, if you've already have this done, is to get those scrapbook paper or more painted papers in your background color out. This is an easy, simple way to set up the background of our tag. Tags are best when they are layered. Layered, 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 layered. I have a lot there, so I'm going to kind of scooch some of that up and see what it looks like. I might not like it. I'm going to set this aside and set this aside. I do have papers. Okay, so while these are drying, we are going to do the background of our tag. And to do that, this one I did earlier today too. For the background of our tag, I will tell you one of the most simple, easiest ways. Hi, Chrissy. Are you working with me? Well, you know most of my secrets anyways. Not that they're secrets. Techniques, the way I do things. All right, you need your Mod Podge. Where's my Mod Podge brush? My big and my little messy brushes. And I just grabbed, I'm all about that turquoise, right, for the background, but a deep navy blue would look spectacular with like more of a lime green kind of thing. Have you guys seen the purple, what do they call them, blood sunflowers? They're like purple red. They're so pretty. That would be like fantastic too. Oh, Tracy, you're always right there. Hi, Kathy, how are you? All right, so one of the best ways to start getting that layered effect, which makes tags so, like, I call them yummy because I think tags are yummy because anything with layers to me is just, oh, it's my favorite. So we're going to get out our Mod Podge, and I'll lay two I find, so those of you, Chrissy, I know you've been doing tags like crazy, and anybody else that does tags, or even if you're working on cards, if you were to do this as a card, do you find that working in a assembly line works best? I certainly do. So usually I'll have quite a bit of cards going on. And I am just going to kind of just lay down some papers. We're going to put this up there. It's okay if it lays over. I do like, the angle of this. And as I'm working, I'm just going to keep moving that Mod Podge. So Mod Podge is glue. We're using gesso as well. The difference between Mod Podge and gesso: Mod Podge is glue, gesso is primer. It's the best and easiest way I know how to describe it. All right, I've got this fun little, this is paper scraps at its best. Look at that. I love the way that little patterned piece is going to fit right over that. Love it. Let's move that in. I need it to go to the edge though. And if it doesn't cover everything, that's okay. We're going to go over it with gesso. If you don't have gesso, you can use a white, paper. Kind of just put that there. All right, let me see if anybody's, hi Tammy. Oh, good. Those of you that create along, I know some of you were creating last night with Deb. I know I just needed that little break, so I was like, ooh, I am going to paint with Deb. And I painted that fun little he wasn't a snowman. A fun little pumpkin, gnome pumpkin that she did. Loved him. And he was just so fun to do. He was quick. Sometimes tags and things that I do, because there's any of us that do paper work in here, paper creating. I got you hooked on pockets. Yay! I know. I love pockets. Pockets they're fun. I was just looking at some of the pockets. My poor junk journal hasn't really been touched since I've done some things with you ladies. It is just calling my name. We're just going to, don't think too much on this. I'm a little distracted talking to you guys and making sure I'm covering everything. But don't get too caught up in worrying what's working and what's not. I promise that it all blends in. It will all work and it will look good in the end. We're going to get that all in there. My favorite, one thing that I do try to do, you'll see me do it a lot, is make sure that I don't have, sometimes I have straight edges, and straight edges are good. Other times I work really, really hard on no straight edges. I don't want the Argyle with the, so tear those papers, ladies. Oh, that little pumpkin, yeah, Deb's was super cute. I love them. And then I was looking today, and I've seen some other people, like Susan did a cute little cowboy theme. I think Martina put one up. I think hers has like a purple beard or something. It's the best when you guys share what you're doing. I'm telling you, you not only make the rest of us artists super happy to see what you do, just because for me, I mean, it's my favorite part about teaching too, is just to see your interpretation of what I'm teaching. My students, same thing. I love to see, like, I'm not very strict. I have to be a little bit because I've got to follow rules and regulations, but I love seeing their interpretation of my assignment that I'm giving them. And it's kind of the same for you guys, honestly. Oh, let's see. I just need another little piece. Like I said, don't think, just throw some pieces on there. You really don't have to worry too much about it. You're just creating lines, dimension, and angles. That's all you're doing. We're going to put this nice little straight. I'm just going to stick that there. All right, did you guys see that? So just throw some papers down. If you don't have scrapbook papers, throw painted papers down. If you don't have anything, paint it. Go crazy. We're going to do this real quick, just so it's not so wet. I'm going to flip them over and cut it so I can see my pretty little tag. You're not late, Sylvia. Besides, you work quickly. If you were to make one of these tags, you'll have it done in no time. How are you, by the way? Okay, so I did ask, and I never looked to see. Has anybody, been to Disney in the last, 5 years or so? So Disney, for me, is probably different than everybody else. All I care about is the art. All I care about is looking and seeing how things are set up, the displays, looking at, they're there. Looking at the structure, the paint, every rock, every street lamp, everything you sit on is carefully designed, planned, painted by an artist at Disney. And that is, I think, my favorite part of Disney is just the artistry of it all. Like, not just the art of Disney, right? I mean, we've got amazing. I'm always in awe. I still watch all the Disney animated films and Pixar. I'll watch anything animated because it's just amazing to me, the work and that goes into animation. But going to the park and seeing everything, or like Cinderella's castle at Walt Disney World, I don't think I cared that much. I mean, I thought it was cool when I was there at the age of, 10, 11, or 12. There we go, guys. Hi, Martha. But the work behind it, every single little detail in every hotel and every restaurant and everything, it's just amazing. All right, I use my hands. You can use a brush or anything else. This is gesso. Gesso is like a primer, okay? It's going to have a chalk. Gesso is the original chalk paint. That's what gesso is. And it's going to give you a good base to use other materials on. So if you wanted to, say, watercolor on top of this, gesso gives you a good primer. It's primer. That's all it is. The other thing I like about it is it still allows the color details of my paper to show through, but it blends it all together, and I can adjust how much is where. So by going thicker in some spots, right, and I'm going to have a lot of texture, or going much thinner is going to define the look of my tag. So basically, look what we did. We took it from bright and all over to kind of subdued a little bit, okay? If you don't have gesso, but you like the look of blending it all together, just use a little bit of white paint with your fingers. The Mod Podge should be pretty dry. You're just going over it with the gesso, so like I said, if you don't have gesso and you want the look of the blended look, if you don't have any of these things, look at this tag here is just a piece of scrapbook paper. Like, it's just the scrapbook paper, and I wrapped it around, and on this side, so I have gesso and molding paste to kind of give it dimension, and this is a primed background. But look how pretty. If you don't have all the difference and you just have one piece that's kind of already scrapbooked together, you see that? Just use that with a little colored paint. You could use a Key West or a turquoise color with your finger to give just a light wash over that, and that will give you dimension. Okay? If you don't have gesso though, and you're into this type of a project, I recommend you get some. It's worth it. I use Liquitex. I have big gallon jugs of it because I use it so much when I teach. And see how I can kind of just adjust. Like I wanted that to kind of fade that little intersection, but I like this here, so, and I don't mind that really green. Okay, just kind of fades it away and gives me good workspace. Hi, Gloria. How are you? Hello, Madeline. Is it Madeline or Madeline? I have two different friends. Well, one friend, Madeline, and a student, Madeline. She corrected me my first day that she was in my class. I'm just going to take some of that off just so that sometimes it'll start to peel that Mod Podge on your fingers. This is where you want to make sure your gesso is dry. Okay, so I'm going to hit it a little bit. This is almost dry. Let me get those going. Plus I have this one I did earlier. So I've got 3 different tags. You can see how the process would work fairly quickly. I'm doing a lot of tags. So fun. So if you're, I think most of you that are on, or if you haven't said hello and you are secretly watching, hello there. And if you're not following me over at Sugar Hill Art Studios, you should. But I also have a free group called Art Journaling and Mixed Media with Sugar Hill. And every month, I didn't post the August. Did I post the August prompts? I didn't post the August prompts, did I? Did that go up? I don't think it went up. Oh my goodness. So I usually post prompts for each month. And now I'm thinking in my head that those didn't post. But I post prompts. We have some contests. We do a bunch of different things. We've been making tags and pockets and junk journals, and we work in our mixed media pads, and we do a bunch of different techniques. Kind of really fun. This piece is still really wet. So now all I'm doing is cutting leaf, flower, leaf shapes. Just kind of bring it out and bring it in. You don't want anything too specific. Have fun with it. Just kind of cut those out, some long and skinny, some short and fat. This way and that way. Kind of just start going, and basically I think when I started I just cut, and then once I started layering, that's when I started paying attention to what colors I had in the background and how big. And after you get them cut out, you can always readjust, but the less you think about it, the better it will be in the end. Okay, we could take some of these darker. This might be kind of cool to mix the words with the leaves. There we go. And I have, oh, I don't know, there's probably a good 30 there. Like I love this dark orange. You'll start to see as you put it together what you like, what colors you're leaning towards. It's super fun though. Once you get it all cut out, and I'm only going to cut out enough for one, I'm not going to bore you. See, this is where I get into trouble and my projects take longer than an hour. All right, let's see how we did here. I'm going to just set these aside. And I'm going to take one of these dry. This one's kind of cool looking. Let's cut this one. So So cut it bigger at first, and you can always cut it down. Let's try this one too. Let's see. You never know, actually. I think I'm really going to like this pink. Pink and orange against that turquoise background. All right, we're sticking with those complementary colors. Okay. Let's see. Maybe we'll do a taller. No, we'll work on this one and do a taller. My leaves might be too big for this one. And just start laying down. Maybe we'll go the other angle. Start laying down just to get an idea on your size, your spacing. Let's see what you're looking at. See what you like. I really like that little piece. You'll start to see like little pieces that you like and you want them to stand out more. And you just pull those out more. Okay? So if I went with that, this would definitely have to be smaller. But that's okay. So we're going to cut this smaller. It might have been too small, but maybe not. I like it. I'm liking it. Okay. See? No rules. You're watching, and I love that. Sometimes you just need to take like a mental break from what you were doing and let something else. Oh, thanks, Martha, but I have to ask what you use them for. Journals, tiered tray, gift tags. Yes, all of the above. They're so fun to send to people. Like instead of a card or on the back, I'll just write a little note, and they're like a card, and people will use them as bookmarks or set them on their desk, anything. I think I'll put them on gifts. All right, so I'm going to keep these, and we're going to get my handy dandy Mod Podge and my little brush. Happened to my little brush already. I lose everything all the time, right in front of my face. All right, we're just going to start to put these down with Mod Podge. Just kind of get an idea of your lineup. So yeah, Martha, I like to send them to people. I will put them on gifts. I use them as cards. Honestly, mostly I use them as cards. Well, thanks, Sue. This would be great. Like if you didn't, this does not have to be done on a tag by any stretch. It seriously would look so good. Kind of want, see, like I'm looking at the point. I'm like, oh, I want that point to show. I don't want that point to go off. I like that point. Okay, so I'm kind of just layering my background. And then when we do the next layer, we kind of have to pay a little bit more attention to tearing, just so that we keep the center. So yes, I think they're the best to send as a card, personally. What does anybody else on here that makes tags? I know there's a few of you. What do you use your tags for? Okay, we're gonna bring this nice long. Now, like I said, I'm starting to focus on my center. I'm paying attention and making sure I'm forming a flower. So what does anybody else use? Thanks, Shaquita. You're so sweet. I love your projects too. I really do. Shaquita does some fantastic, like, she works with, you've been on a kick of like pillows and clothing lately, and I'm loving it. Like one of the first projects I ever did in a it was the first project I ever did in a collaboration, was I painted a canvas pillow. Now Shaquita is doing all kinds of things with pillows, and I'm like loving it. You guys are sweet to be here and supporting. You know, every single one of us artists appreciate you watching us, and every comment, every like, every heart that you give on our pages and everywhere else is huge for us. I'm thinking I need a skinny. I need a skinny. I'm just over here doing. Yes. There we go. All right. So now lots of Mod Podge. I might need glue for that, but maybe not. Nope. Sometimes they get really thick in the middle and you need a little oomph. All right, so we're just going to run that over, make sure they're good and down. Now some of this, it's not super dry. I didn't give it time. So the yellow is running a little bit, but I don't mind. I'm actually going to take some of that messy runoff that I'm getting, and I'm going to put it, I'm just going to bring that color through. All right. Now, these things are stuck to me. Now the fun begins. Like that wasn't fun. I think that was fun too. All right, thank you. I tag for art journals. Yes, I love pockets and tags in my journal because there's nothing, honestly, like if you take this and flip it over and journal your day, whether it's your gratitudes in the evening or your prayers in the morning, there's a lot of power in journaling. There's a power in your art journals, but there's a lot of power in your written words too, your thoughts, your feelings, your prayers, your dreams, your wishes, all of it. There's a lot to it. I just want this to be a little bit more dry so I can get to town with my pen. That's always the problem I run into when I'm teaching you guys. I've ruined more of my micron pens, or any pen, because I rush. All right. So because I just like to cut these off right then and there so I can see, I kind of wish I had them longer. And you know what you do for that? Maybe not. Let's draw the stem and see what we think. Is this close enough? Can you guys see okay? Like, do I have it close enough for you to like what you're seeing? Or do you need to see a little bit closer? My tag is not straight, so neither is my. Bring this down. Make your, like, this is whimsical art. Your leaves don't have to be exact. This little leaf shape here that I'm doing just kind of dances in my mind. My brush is small, but I always make do with just whatever I have. Just kind of dancing. Maybe we'll do another up here. Just have fun with it. There's no right or wrong. Your tag's gonna look very different than mine. Your piece, this would be gorgeous on an 8x10 framed. Big. I think this needs to run off now that I'm looking at it. Kind of forced that one. See, and sometimes you do something that you don't like and you just kind of say, okay, not sure what we're going to do there, but we'll fix it. And because I can't have, you see how I'm working out of the lids? Ladies, you will save a ton of paint on small projects like this. You'd be surprised you don't use half the paint that you think you use. So don't be afraid to baby wipes. Don't be afraid to just kind of, I know, because we did that, we got to put that color a little bit everywhere else, which I don't mind. I love that color. See how much I use my hands. It's like your true creativity in there. And suddenly my bad leaf is not so bad anymore. There we go. That's better. All right, let's see. Leave them at seats at church. Oh, that's such a beautiful idea, Kathy. It's almost like the kindness rocks, right? I feel like they would be kind of the same. Alrighty then. These do move kind of quickly once you get going with it. Now, in the supply list, which is also under number 20, guide 2, I made a supply list, but there's some words and different things you could cut out. I just have these sitting here, so I'm kind of just looking at these. Conquer from within, be courageous, enjoy the little things. More life, less rush. I think I need that one. Let's use that one. I love words. Love words. So while that's drying a little bit, handy dandy inks. If you don't have inks, markers work. I think most of you probably do. Hey, Linda. Yeah, it's all right. You could do what I'm doing without. Although I love this. This background is one of my favorites. Kind of just cheat layers. Cheat quick layer tricks. More like might be good. Let's stick that one right there. So I have a personal goal. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I'm going to try to do every project that everybody does for this fall. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but I'm going to try. All right, because sunflowers, I like a little bit of the brown, so I'm just going to go around. Again, markers work perfectly. Same way I'm holding this, you would do it with a marker. This is just sepia old photo color. I just kind of like the brown with the black. I ended up going over with black too. I think between the two of them, they're pretty cool. They worked. Kind of. You just want to, again, don't be afraid to use your hands. If you want that grungy look, right, get grungy. If you don't want that grungy look and you want like pure, whimsical, bright, vivid colors, don't be afraid to use your colors either. Get those going. All right. Two of my favorite products, ink pens. Some of you use the Stabilo. I know, Linda, I have so many projects in my head too. Most people must have food. I know, my people always want food too. That's why I schedule these later. These Derwent Inktense pencils are, they will stay, but as soon as you hit it with water, right, they're like a watercolor. And then once they dry, they're not supposed to, I just don't want to bleed. They are not supposed to, okay, that's the key word, bleed again. I will tell you, sometimes they do and sometimes they don't, and I'm not sure 100% what that is. But they add just some fun little texture. Watercolor, they're a watercolor pencil on steroid. Am I close enough, or do you guys want me to move in a little bit more? Can you see okay? Or do you want me to zoom in so you can kind of really see? It's still a little wet. So I'm just paying attention. I'm going to do some of the darker and some of the lighter. Anybody have an opinion on whether we go closer or it's good? So all I'm doing now is basically forming defining my petals. They're not leaves, they're petals. Right? Does not have to be exact. I'm going to bring in some of this. This one is called Baked Earth. It's definitely like a terracotta. This is still a little too wet. But it brought in some nice brownish red. I'm going to get in there a little bit on those back. Those leaves behind are going to be, they're going to have a little bit of, maybe a little bit darker, right? They're going to be tucked in. I'm going to take my little liner brush and I am just going to start to kind of go around. Just subtle, because we will still go in with our micron. Can you see how that's going? Zoom in? Yeah. Make sure I'm in. How's that? Okay, so here, this side I started to touch with the water. Let's see how I can kind of play. If it's too much and I don't like it, just grab a paper towel or anything, kind of just get in there again. Okay, this side hasn't been activated yet, so I'm just gonna come in and touch it with the wet paintbrush. I love these. The Stabilo pens, I think only come in black, and so many people love them. I have to try it again. I don't own one, so I think I need to get one. Try it again. All right, so do you see how I kind of helped that pop a little bit? And we're just going to put a little bit there, get it a little wet. No rhyme or reason, no right or wrong. And I'm going to, using it to just darken the bottom of anything a little bit, right, kind of one side. And by doing that, I'm just adding a little bit of depth. You see that? See how that kind of just, so fun. As you know, and if I have a lot here, I can pick it up and I can come in right here because it's on my brush, just like any paint would be. Okay. Let's make sure we have that nice and dry. Stabilo does come in colors, yeah. So I need to try and see. I mean, I know everybody I know usually just uses the Stabilos black for faces. And that's what I use my Inktense for. I'm going to dry this a little bit so I can come in. I've got the white Uniball, my Micron, this little white, this pen. This one I had for years, the Zig, and then I saw that they had a new one. I love it. I want it more dry. It's very wet. All right. We're going to put my heart. I have a heart on every piece I do. I can't help it. Nice bright pink heart. Well, maybe we're going to add a little bit of pink in here today because I feel like it. I don't know. This tag just says it needs pink to me. So we're going to add some. And we're going to come in and we're going to add some white on the top. And kind of on the opposite side. And I'm a scribbler. You don't have to. You can be very precise. You don't have to use pens at all. I think that is another, like, this is why I ask you guys to share what you do, because I just love to see it. Love to see what you do. All right, let's try. Let's see if this one wants to work. Christy, was it you that said rubbing alcohol? Is that you? All right, a nice solid line would look good with this too. I'm not a solid line girl. Okay, I'm going to scribble my way around the inside. And I am going to go over these again to define my leaves, my petals, not leaves. Did it again. I don't know why I'm saying that. We're just going to, I am still in the line, right? Wait till yours dries. Don't ruin all your pens. To have a scribble or not to have a scribble, that is the question. We're going to go on this. More scribble. And I'm going to do my little do some doodles. I am not sure. I don't really want to line. I'm just going to just give the hint. What do we think? And come back in. Just have fun. Just have fun. But you'll start to see how that pops. See how that's popping? I'm going to add some white in here. Dots. Come back in. I think I want these a little bit lighter. I did not want that lighter under there, though. There we go. All right. I love these distress ink pads. They're so much fun. They just help add more layer, more depth. If you had, if you really wanted to get more texture, use your punchilla. Oops, wrong side. Right over the other dots, because you can never have enough polka dots. Right? It's okay if you go over some of the leaves. Super fun. And let's go back. There's just something I like about the dark and then the black. So the sepia and then that black. Don't be afraid. Think of your tags or your cards, your artwork, anything, it's going to be dirtier, right, where people touch. So don't be afraid to get it dirty. This is where your layers and your grunge and everything really starts to come in. Okay. On Etsy, actually, I got a whole, I'll show you. I ordered a lot, I guess you would call it, of Punchella. All different shapes. And most of it's pretty fun to use because it's such a fun, but in all of these, I didn't have a cute little circle. So our girl, Jessica Zapp, actually sent me this little piece that I will savor until I can get just circle Punchella. Punchinella, really. All right, so do you guys see how simple and easy that is? Super fun, super easy. I don't always outline the heart. I feel like if I outline it, it makes it more. I love my heart. And then the next fun part is our ribbon. All right, and you can tear material, which I think this orange might be kind of cool. I'm wondering if I cut this glitter pink. I'm not a ribbon girl. Oh, it's like tape. Glitter ribbon. Is it tape? I went to the, it is. I don't want that. That's not going to work. I was hoping it was going to be more pliable. Oh, I have a piece of yellow. I have that. I do wish that I had more ribbon. I love ribbon. I just didn't know I liked ribbon. I didn't have a lot of ribbon. And so now here I am with wanting ribbon, and I don't have a whole heck of a lot. I'm just going to cut this in half. I can zoom out again so you guys can see what not that I'm doing anything too exciting. I'm just making my ribbon thinner. You guys probably have all kinds of great ideas and ribbon techniques. Like when I go to the store and I look at ribbon, I think, oh, that's cute. And then I try to use it and I don't like it. So I don't know, is that a common issue? Like, is that a common problem, or is that just I'm overthinking the ribbon too much? Can I rip this like I can rip material? No. Me struggling. I know Deb's tried to help me before with ribbon. She gets ribbon. I don't get ribbon. Doesn't make sense to me. It's my nemesis. So a lot of you are probably better at the whole ribbon thing. It's what I'm learning with tags and ribbon though is it's all about the texture. It's all about the texture. So you want a lot of different textures. Like this. This might be too all the same color for my liking, but let's see. Maybe not. It might be a nice play off of it. I usually do the ribbon like 6 times on each tag. That's what takes me the longest. You guys can laugh at me. You can shake your heads. I get it. I do. See, I think that needs some pink or some turquoise. But there we have it. Simple, fun tags. Right? Flip them over, write a little note on the back, send it to your dearest. They're going to love to open it. These tags were fun. I see, like, this ribbon, I don't know if that goes, but I thought it looked cute. Same with this one. All right, so what do we have going on? Yes, if you're not following me, please follow me. And from there, you also will see, oh, my white is the Signo Uniball. Right here, Signo Uniball. Christy, you are a scribbler. Yep. And there we have it. So, just have fun layering. That's a really simple and fun way. I forgot I still had my headband and workout. That's the kind of day it's been. How'd I do? 9:02. Deb, aren't you proud of me? I kept it within an hour. That's amazing. The easiest, most basic way to do your background, and that I think is one of the biggest things I wanted to show you tonight, is just those pieces of scrap paper and blending them together so you get lots of great texture, and then you're just able to keep building on that. So that's what we have. I can't wait. So you know the rule, right? You know the deal. Make it and share it. Share it, share it, share it. So if you've done that fun little gnome with the pumpkin that Deb did the tutorial, like I said, you're starting to see a few people share theirs. Don't be afraid to share it. I know, yeah. I'm starting to really I actually think I like strips of fabric better, almost better than ribbon, or definitely I'm finding that I want that jagged messiness, and I like anything burlap. So, yeah. Any ribbon help anybody has to offer? But share what you do all fall, all August, because there are going to be some amazing, amazing artists in here sharing things with you guys. So I know Deb in the announcements put up this week's lineup. Is it Leah tomorrow? Leah, are you on tomorrow? I think it's Leah tomorrow, right? So that's going to be great. My goal is to, in my handy dandy journal, I think I am going to do, so I have Deb, maybe I'll put one of my tags right in here tomorrow with Leah, and I think I'm going to try to do each project in my journal just to hold myself accountable to quit creativity. Okay? Yeah, I love burlap. I like that natural, but isn't that shabby chic, right? When you like that natural look up against something frilly. I think I really love that. I was thinking, somebody actually asked me again about the junk journal kits. So this is the one junk journal I was working on. I was thinking about putting kits together for this. I have tons of ideas for Christmas time coming in with cute little kits. So, and I'm sure all of us do. So if you're watching us or you're interested in, some great ideas, I definitely have some ideas coming up, and I know every one of these other presenters in here definitely have some ideas. So thanks again for joining. If you do a sunflower, it doesn't have to be a tag, it can be a card, it can be on a 16 by 20. Let me know, share it in the group. I'd love to see it. I appreciate all of you being on and hanging with me tonight. I cannot wait to go back through and read your comments and respond. I will try to get to that tonight. If not, tomorrow. I think I missed a few comments, but I will get back. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. Any questions, any comments, anything, always ask. If you're confused about the whole Mod Podge gesso thing, just ask. Trust me, you're not the only one. I get questions all the time. You can always send me a direct message, and I will try to get back to you ASAP. All right, everybody, have a good night. Thank you so much, and we will see you later. Bye.